What's going on, guys? This is Maury,
Dave,
and Pat from the Erie Better Beer Bureau. Tonight we're going to review Lagunitas Brown Shugga, personally one of my favorite beers.
kind of falls into that American barley wine, American strong ale category. It was a mess up. They were trying to brew their old gnarly wine, which is their barley wine, and they screwed an ingredient up and they wound up with this beer. But people liked it so much they decided to make it a yearly winter seasonal, and it's pretty good beer. It's 9.9%, highly hopped, brewed with brown cane sugar.
Like many of the greatest discoveries, this was a mistake.
Give you guys at home a relatively close-up pour here. Ooh,
Here we go.
Kind of a hazy red-orange color.
Real hazy. I mean,
Yeah.
it's clear, but it's. I would actually. Hazy's not what I'd say. I'd say almost chunky.
It's
Yeah, there's some sediment in it, for
Yeah.
sure.
The
You
beer
know,
itself is clear, but there is some particulate matter in there.
we were pouring these bottles around between a few glasses,
Yeah.
and when
Yeah.
beer's bottle conditioned, you'll have
It
that.
gets shaken up a
Two
bit.
fingers of basically kind of a,
Off-white.
cream-colored head,
Yeah.
kind of a khaki color.
Very hoppy
Wow.
aroma coming
Yeah.
off of this one, especially for a barley wine.
Hoppy, sweet, caramel coming through.
Yeah. A little citrus.
Yeah.
Some flowery.
Yeah, I was
aroma.
going to say a little bit of that grassy flower thing going on.
It's a sweet smelling beer.
Yeah, and it definitely does have a fruity character to it,
It
too.
does,
Yeah.
Cheers.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is good. Right off the bat, I get that cane sugar.
Me too.
That
All
real
right.
dark brown sugar.
Luckily, there's a heavy hand of hops right with it.
A
You know?
heavy hand hops, yeah.
Usually there's one real strong flavor and then the other flavors kind of take a back seat in a lot of beers. This one you get both, just like the caramel flavor, and you get the hops all together right up front, and you taste them throughout the beer.
You definitely do.
And another, it's not overly complex, this beer. You know, it's got, like you said, that caramely, malty flavor, you know, the brown sugar, crystal sugared flavors, and then the hops, which are all very distinct flavors, and they're all right there.
Yeah, it's a pretty looking beer too. I
Yeah.
mean, you can see as we drink this, there's plenty of lacing being stuck to the side of the snifters here. I mean, it's a good looking beer.
It's a sticky beer, you know?
It is a stick.
It's a real sticky beer. It's sticky. You know, once again, you get a...
Yeah.
I don't want to say thick. I'd say it's like on the thicker end of medium.
Yeah,
You know, on
I'll
this
agree
one.
with that.
It's a medium full.
It's very sticky. It almost has like a earthy note in the background, like that malty, earthy note,
Right.
and definitely sticky, sweet. I'm gonna give this a 3.75 out of 5. There was once upon a time with this beer would have been, you know, a little bit more up there on the scale for me, but over time, American barley wines, hoppy strong ales, however you want to categorize it, I'm just not a big fan anymore. But I can't go too low with the score because I feel like that's what this beer is intended to be. It's intended to be a hoppy barley wine or a hopped up strong ale. So, you know, and they do it well. There's nice balance here, but I prefer my barley wines and just big beers like this a little bit less hoppy these days. I just do. My palate's changed over the years, and so I think 3.75 is kind of the happy medium for me on this beer, and that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I'm going to go a few notches higher on this one. I'm going to go a 4.25. I'm teetering on going 4.5. Just for the fact that I love this beer. I love the balance. I love that sugar balancing out with the hops. I love the mouthfeel, and I really love the fact that this beer doesn't just go away after a sip. I mean,
It lingers.
you take a sip of this beer, and it hangs out. You could have been drinking it all night just off one sip. I mean, it's a beer that hangs around. You know, and I'm really this close to going 4.5 on this beer. You know, if it had a little bit more complex flavor, or maybe if they made a barrel-aged version of this, I mean, it would easily be a 4.5 to even a 4.75 if they did a little more character with the beer. But yeah, I think a 4.25 is where I'm going with this one.
All right, and full disclosure is that this is one of my favorite beers, hands down. It's probably in my top 10, and I give this one a solid 4.5 out of 5. Great balance. I love the way that the hops interact with the caramel malts in the flavor. Whatever happy accident produced this beer, I'll be raising a glass to it for till the end of time.
All right, guys, that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
I was very
But they did brew Holiday Sucks in its place, which was a really
Like
good
it
idea.
Lagunitas
sucks.
Holiday Ale.
Yeah. Holidays in there.
Whatever it was, it wasn't brown
Shut your
sugar.
mouth when you're talking to me.
All right, Lagunitas Sucks Holiday Ale.